Janet Wright. I am the editor of the 9-Patch News, which is the Woodstock Quilt Guild's newsletter. I'm also the hostess of The Purge. We've been doing this since September. September, we took the garbage out, took the paper and patterns out of our room, where we decided we're going to clean up after every 2 projects. How you making out with that one? October, we took out the non-sewing items. We did our pre-cuts. I mean, how many are we really going to store? Tried to get that under control. November, we did our iron and board height. That's important on your back. Backing and battings and storage of how we do the backings and battings. December, we did sharps. Anything that's sharp that's in your room, we tried to go through that, be it pins, needles, seam rippers, scissors, all that stuff. Make sure that your cutting board is at the correct height. January was scary. January was fabric, yardage. And to be honest with you, that was the shortest video I've done so far because I was just so excited that I had gotten through it. And I said to my friends, if I don't do anything else from here on in, I don't care. My room looks so much better. But of course, there is some stuff that we haven't done yet. So let's backtrack. So February, we're going to do irons, rulers, and cutting mats. So first of all, let's start with your cutting mat. Lots of people like myself have 2 or 3 cutting mats, some large ones that are not sensible for me to take to a quilt retreat or a super Saturday. I have 2 of them. They stay right here on my cutting table mat. I'm glad I have 2 now that I'm making clothes. I can use both of them on my kitchen table to cut some stuff out. So that's nice. So cutting mats. I grabbed this one here, which is a smaller one. And I read on the back of it, like there's some instructions on how to clean them. Did you know that? So what do you use to clean your cutting boards? What should you use? So according to the instructions, it says, put it on a hard place. Don't be bending your mats by putting them upright this way. They have to lay flat and they'll never come back if you screw one up. So it says clean using lukewarm water and mild detergent. So lukewarm water is the best thing that you can use for your mats. They also sell some stuff. I got this for my birthday. And what essentially it is a mat cleaner. You rub it depending on what you got going on, like this. And you can see that it took that off. I don't think I would invest in it. It was a nice gift, but a little bit of elbow grease, I think, and some water is all you really need for your mats. Mats, let's see. Let's go with something else here. Clean with water and elbow grease. Rulers. How many rulers do you have? Now you can see right here that I have a capacity of this. These are the ones that I use all the time. Now, when I was redoing my room, I also gave myself some additional spots here for some more rulers. I also have another spot down here because I do have some rulers that are quite large. Let's go right down here and look. So I have them in between my boards, and that seems to work for me. So the questions that you're going to want to ask yourself as you're going through your rulers. Capacity. Okay, so I want you to look at every one of them. Is any of them cracked? I have a tendency of breaking the ends off of them and then keep using them. I have one at work that I melted the end off of it because I stuck it underneath my iron. Luckily, I didn't get anything on my iron. That was all that mattered, but I'm still using that stupid thing. So why? Why am I using that? Well, I'm using that because I don't have another one to replace it as of right now, but I'm on the lookout. So as soon as I find one, it's gone. I got to start doing that. So I want you to look at every single one of them. I want you to look at the corners. Are any of them cracked? Specialty rulers, your curve rulers. There's all kinds of rulers that we buy for one project. So when you pick that up, are you ever going to use that again? And if you're not going to use that again, purge it. Give it to somebody that might not have it and somebody that might want to make that project. I want you to go through all of them and make these hard decisions. If you're going to make that again, keep it. It's not that you have to get rid of everything. It's just that you have to try to figure out what you can keep in the space that you have. All right. Measuring tapes. That's another thing that's also in here. So rulers and measuring tapes. When you buy a new measuring tape, you should always double check to make sure that it is accurate. I mean, who would think? An inch is an inch, right? Well, apparently an inch is not an inch. I bought a dollar store tape measurer. And when I laid it out, by the time we got to 6 inches, it was really 5.5 inches. So I'd lost 1/2 inch in 6 inches. I threw that out immediately. That's just retarded. So check these things. Make sure that they're going to be accurate if you're going to keep it. All right, irons. How many do you have? How many do you need? So I've been very blessed that I have fallen in love with this iron. To the point where I own a couple of them. Let me try to get that down there so you can see that. Okay, so this is the Olicio. It has feet underneath it. So when you pick it up, the feet go away. And when you let go, they come back out. See that? So I never have to pick my iron up this way. It's really great for my wrist. It's kind of cool and it makes cool noises. So the problem with this is once you have one, you can't use anybody else's irons because you'll burn the place down because you don't flip them back up. So I have one here. I also bought a second one for where I work at work, where I do my sewing at work. So I have two of them. I also went and seen how many more I have. I have one other just plain iron. I'm going to keep that. And I also bought this last year. This little cute iron. I'll set that down. So what I liked about it was that it's got this thing here, and you can somehow it turns. Okay, so I bought that when I was in Quilt Canada. It's got a little thing on it there. I thought it would be really neat for doing little things. I can set it right next to myself. I haven't used it yet, and I've had it almost a year now, so it's on the potential purge for next year. I've decided that I'm going to try to do this every year so it doesn't get out of hand. So these are the irons that I have. I'm okay with that. I'm going to keep that. That's fine. If I had more or if they didn't work, I would certainly go through them, make sure that they do work, because why are you keeping an iron that doesn't work? Other things that we're going to look at is starch. Do you have starch? And if you do have starch, is it old? Do you use it? Have a look through that. Starch is great. I love starch, so I'm not going to get rid of any of my starch. And in fact, I set myself up a little bit better for my starch. I went and bought this really neat sprayer. I have two of them. This one's by Annie. So it has a sprayer on it. It's a nice fine mist. I have two. I have one for water and I have one for starch. That was the one for the water. So look at your starch and decide what you want to do there. And last but not least, two of them, I guess. Do you have a clapper? Do you need a clapper? What is a clapper? So I need a clapper because I started making clothes. If you don't have one, they're really nice for doing especially long seams. What essentially you do is you press your seam, you lay this on it, and it absorbs the heat and it makes it a really nice crisp seam. So if you need one, let me know, because there's a person in our quilt guild whose husband makes these. He's really crafty and reasonable. He also makes something else that I want to talk about, and that is the cover that I have on my ironing board. So what this is a piece of wood that is made my normal ironing board quite a bit larger. Not only has it made it larger, but it's also made it rectangular, because as you know, if you're a quilter, the small edge on your ironing board is not very useful, but this is, especially for width of fabric. So if you are interested in that, let me know as well, and I'll give you his name, and you guys can work something out. So this month, like I said, we're going to be looking at irons, rulers, cutting mats, and all the stuff that goes along with that. Now, I'm really excited to say that we only have 2 months left after this. I'm going to let you in on what we're going to be up to because I can see the end in sight. So February, we're going to do, like I said, irons, rulers, clean your iron and mats. Oh, also wool mats. If you have some, are they still good? Do you use it? If you don't use it, get rid of it, because there's a lot of people that would love to have it. So that's going to leave us with March next month. And we're going to do the correct height at your sewing station. And we're going to do notions, buttons, zippers, all that kind of stuff. That'll be next month. And then in April, which is our last one, we're going to be doing UFOs. Last chance to go through those projects that you've already started, and a chance to move on. We'll talk about that when we get there. I'm just so impressed at all the people that have done this. I'm really excited about it. The Purge donations have still been coming in. That's why we're going to finish in April, because we are going to be doing our auction in June. It's going to be June 3rd at the KC Hall. We have a lot of stuff. that's been donated, and we're going to just have a really good time. It's going to be really fun. One of the things I've been joking about is that if you purge something, you're not allowed to buy it back at the auction, but you're allowed to buy other things. Because if you do this and you're gone through everything, like I'm pretty close to doing now, I know what I have, I know what I need, and I'm allowed to buy more stuff. Just don't tell the husband. So anyway, I'm going to be gone for now. Like I said, I want you to go through your irons, rulers, and your cutting mats this month, and I will see you next month. Thanks.